Ka tomo kuma da ruwa. Now, hold on. I'm trying to, I told you I'm trying to learn some things with this, so that, okay. Tomo kuma da ruwa. Yeah, I'm streaming this. Now, hold on. I'm trying to, I told you I'm trying to learn some things with this, so that, okay. Why am I getting my voice back? Tomo kuma da ruwa. Yeah, I'm streaming this. Hold on. I'm trying to, I told you I'm trying to learn some things with this, so that. Nice. Hold on, I want to see if it was actually working. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Bismillah, Nigeria. Okay, it's okay. Just for me to focus on this now. Now, Bismillah. Okay.
أعوذ بالله
Hello? Hello?
أعوذ بالله الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إن الله لا يستحيي أن يضرب مثلا ما
أيض أيض نعم.
أن يضرب مثلا
You don't say
ما
أيض 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 أيض.
أن يضرب مثلا ما بعوضة فما فوقها فأما الذين آمنوا فيعلمون أنه الحق من ربهم وأما الذين كفروا فيقولون ماذا أراد الله
أراد
بهذا مثلا
أراد نعم.
أراد الله أن
أراد
يضرب
الله بهذا مثلا.
أراد الله بهذا مثلا يضل به كثيرا ويهدي به كثيرا وما يضل به إلا الفاسقين
نعم.
الذين ينقضون عهد الله من بعد ميثاقه ويقطعون ما أمر الله به أن يوصل ويفسدون في الأرض
نعم.
أولئك هم الخاسرون
نعم.
كيف تكفرون بالله وكنتم أمواتا فأحياكم ثم يميتكم ثم يحييكم ثم إليه ترجعون هو الذي خلق لكم ما في الأرض جميعا ثم استوى إلى السماء فسواهن سبع سماوات وهو بكل شيء عليم
نعم.
وإذ قال ربك للملائكة إني جاعل في الأرض خليفة قالوا أتجعل فيها من يفسد فيها من يفسد فيها ويسفك الدماء ونحن نسبح بحمدك ونقدس لك
نعم.
قال إني أعلم ما لا تعلمون وعلم آدم الأسماء كلها ثم عرضهم على الملائكة
فقال
فقال
أنبئوني. نعم.
أنبئوني
نعم.
فقال أنبئوني بأسماء هؤلاء إن كنتم صادقين قالوا سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا
نعم.
إنك أنت العليم الحكيم
نعم.
قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم
أنبئهم قلنا.
قال يا آدم أنبئهم بأسمائهم
نعم.
فلما أنبئهم
أنبأهم.
أوه فلما أنبأهم بأسمائهم قال ألم أقل لكم إني أعلم غيب السماوات والأرض وأعلم ما تبدون وما كنتم تكتمون وإذ قلنا للملائكة اسجدوا لآدم فسجدوا إلا إبليس أبى واستكبر وكان من الكافرين وقلنا يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة وكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما
نعم. نعم. صلي وقلنا يا آدم اسكن أنت وزوجك الجنة وكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما. Even if you want to pause, you should pause here. Then وكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما ولا تقربوا. نعم.
وكلا منها رغدا حيث شئتما ولا تقربا هذه الشجرة فتكونا من الظالمين فأزلهما الشيطان عنها
فأخرجهما.
فأخرجهما مما كانا فيه وقلنا
نعم.
اهبطوا بعضكم لبعض عدو ولكم في الأرض مستقر ومتاع إلى حين فتلقى آدم من ربه كلمات فتاب عليه إنه هو التواب الرحيم
نعم.
قلنا اهبطوا منها جميعا فإما يأتينكم مني هدى فمن تبع هداي فلا خوف عليهم ولا هم يحزنون والذين كفروا وكذبوا بآياتنا أولئك أصحاب النار هم فيها خالدون يا بني إسرائيل اذكروا نعمتي التي أنعمت عليكم
أنعمت أنعمت أنعمت
أنعمت عليكم وأوفوا بأهدي أوف بأهدي
فأوفوا بعهدي. نعم.
وأوفوا بأهدي أوف بأهدكم وإياي فارهبون وآمنوا بما أنزلت مصدقا لما معكم ولا تكونوا أول كافر به ولا تشتروا بآياتي ثمنا قليلا وإياي فاتقون
نعم.
ولا تلبسوا الحق بالباطل
فلا تلبسوا حا. نعم.
ولا تلبسوا الحق بالباطل وتكتموا الحق وأنتم تعلمون وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واركعوا مع الراكعين.
MashaAllah. Today was Alhamdulillah was easier for us to go about it. It's easier because of the corrections that we've done in the previous classes. And I'm very sure from your recitation, I know that you've gone through the corrections that we've made in the past class. Yeah, you did. I listened. So inshallah now, moving forward, we have Tajweed, right? We're going to have Tajweed, right?
Yes.
So inshallah, let's see. We are going to وأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واركعوا مع الراكعين. نعم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. We can see the screen. Yeah.
Yes, I can.
In our previous class, we stopped at نعم غايته وسيد صون اللسان عن اللحن في كلام الله عز وجل. I think that's where we
No.
stop. We stop there. So we are going to start with al-lahan. What's the meaning of lahan? Blunders. Blunders in recitation of the Quran. ما معنى اللحن؟ قال واللحن هو الخطأ والميل عن الصواب. والخطأ والميل عن الصواب. اللحن, the meaning of lahan is what? Is خطأ. What's the meaning of خطأ? A mistake.
Yes.
Or والميل عن الصواب, or going away from the right way, like moving from the right way to the wrong way. When you are doing something, then you take the wrong path. So that's meaning of what? Al-lahn. But remember that in Quran we say, when we see, why is it not said, why is it not called khata, but we say lahan instead? Because Quran is blunder. Quranically we say what? Blunder. We don't see like just mistake. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you understand what I'm trying to say? So
Yes.
you say blunders, not, you don't say mistakes, but you say what? Blunders. So now, for instance, was like, if you take an example of blunders, it's when you say something, when you say something and that thing changes the meaning of the verses of the Quran. You understand? That's a blunder. You understand?
Yes.
So now we have to go deeper now. We want to know, we have two types of blunders. He said, لحن جلي ولحن خفي. Two types of blunders. We have the minor and the major. When they say al-jali is the major, you understand? While khafi is what? Khafi is
The big,
what?
the big
Yawwa,
one.
the major. Yawwa. So, which means now we are going to go deeper into it and explain. He said, لحن جلي ولحن خفي. We have two types of blunders. The first one is jali and the second one is khafi. فالجلي. Now he wants to explain what's the meaning of لحن al-jali. What's the meaning of jali? He said فالجلي. The major, now we are going to start with the major blunder, major mistake. هو خطأ يطرأ على الألفاظ فيخل بعرف بعرف القراءة سواء أخل بالمعنى أم لا كتغيير حرف بحرف. Are we together؟ أو
Yes.
حركة بحركة. He said the major, when we say major blunder, it's the mistake that you will make on
Yeah.
some letters or your words or some sounds. فيخل بعرف القراءة. So it will change the sound, or it will change how the recitation, or it will change how what you are reciting will come out, you understand, to the listeners. Because if you are a listener, if someone should read something unusual, you will feel like, okay, something is missing here. You understand what I'm trying to say? So now, for instance, someone wants to recite, then he said, instead of saying Alhamdulillah, you as a listener, then he said Alhamda. Like, you feel like, no, no, it is not correct. You understand? Sometimes when someone is reciting and he recites something wrong, even though maybe you have not memorized that part, yes, made the mistake from, but you've heard or you've read the part, you feel like there's a mistake there. And if someone should ask you that, what is the mistake? You feel like, no, I don't know the mistake, but there's a mistake there. I cannot correct him, but there's a mistake. And when he cites it right, you feel like, yeah, it is right now. It's you know what I'm trying to say. So he said,
Yes.
سواء أخل بالمعنى أم لا. He said, even if this mistake he's made changes the meaning or not, if it changes the structure of the verse, structure of the recitation, you understand? If that changes the structure of the recitation, doesn't matter if it changes the meaning or not. He said, كتغيير حرف بحرف, just like changing another letter with another letter. You understand? Just like when you are going to say Hamza, then you say ah. Or you want to say sa, then you say tha. Automatically, like you've changed something. Even though if this is not going to take any meaning from this verse at all, but you've changed something, and for the person that's listening that knows what you are reciting, he knows that you have changed something. Or تغيير أو حركة بحركة, or changing a sign with another sign, just like change, just the one I gave example, just like saying Alhamdulillah, yeah, just like saying Alhamdulillah when you are supposed to say what? When you are supposed to say what? When you are supposed to say when you are supposed to say Alhamdulillah, then you say Alhamda, like that. When you are supposed to say Alhamdulillah, then you say Alhamda. So that's really like you have to, when you listen, you know that okay, this person is making a mistake, is making a great mistake, a blunder. So he said فالأول كإبدال الطاء دالا أو تاء بترك الاستعلاء. He gave an example from the first one we are talking about. He said the first one is the first one the Sheikh said, like changing a letter with another letter, changing a letter with another letter, just like changing dal, ta. Instead of saying dal, then you say ta. Or you change dal to ta. Or you change ta to ta. You know, a lot of people does that. Like, let me give you examples with the Yorubas. They have problems with pronouncing ta. They'll say ta, 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 ta. So even they say wattur, they say wattur. So they've changed it. بترك الاستيلاء, and they will take away, they will erase and they will mute the attribute of isti'la, which I've explained what attribute of isti'la is. Are we together? So now, he said, بِتَرْكِ الْإِسْتِعْلَاءِ فِيهَا. Yes. So instead of saying dal, then you say ta. And instead of saying ta, you say dal. Instead of saying dal, you say ta. So you've changed everything in the cycle. You understand what I'm trying to say? These are letters that have similarities, but that doesn't mean you should change. You should change, like, because they have similarities, you can just decide to say, okay, this here, this there. Because they have similarities, we have to differentiate them. It's just similarities, they are not the same. Just because they are similar doesn't mean they are the same. Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. That's the first example, changing a letter with another letter. That's the first one. And the second one, he said, والثاني كضم التاء أنعمت أو فتح الدال الحمد لله. He said, and the second one that he said, changing another sign with another sign, a sign with another sign. He said it's just like changing the أنعمت, the sign of أنعمت, then you say أنعمت. صراط الذين أنعمت, then you say صراط الذين أنعمت. You see, automatically you will know that, okay, something is changed here. And another thing he said, أو فتح دال الحمد لله وسمي دليلا. He said, oh, you said instead of alhamdulillah, then you say what? Alhamdulillah. Instead of saying alhamdulillah, you say what? Alhamdulillah. So وسمي جليا أي ظاهرا. They name this a major and biggest mistake. Yani the obvious that when you listen, you know, okay, this is obvious. It is like it's obvious. لاشتراك القراء وغيرهم في معرفتي, because the professional reciters who are reciters, conch reciters, and the ones who are not even conch reciters would know that you made this mistake when they listen to you, you know? So non-reciters and reciters would know that, okay, this is a mistake. So you don't even have to be, a professional on this part before you will know that, okay, someone is making a mistake there. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So that is what he said. So now that is al-jali. If you look at jali, is what is a major mistake that changes the meaning of verse, or even if it doesn't change the meaning of verse, you understand, it changes the structure of the verse, changes the structure of the Arabic and whatsoever, just like changing a letter with another letter or changing a sign with another sign, right? That's jali. This is the major mistake. This is the major blunder in Quran. So when you are reciting the Quran, then you make a mistake, then they say this is lahanun jali. That means this is a bigger blunder, or this is a big blunder, or this is a big mistake. You are making the major mistake. So from your recitation, you know that, okay, I'm making a big mistake because I've changed one of these things. Either I've changed a letter or I've changed a sign. So even skipping something in a verse is not a blunder. We don't call it a blunder. That blunder, that's what we call mistakes. You understand what I'm trying to say? But blunders is change something. That is why if you are reciting the Quran, maybe in Salah and anything, then you forget some parts, you can just take another part and recite, and you can continue recitation. You understand?
Yeah.
So now we are going to take khafi, al-khafi, which is the minor mistakes. What are the minor mistakes? So now, what are the minor mistakes? Now let's check. What are the minor mistakes? So he said, وَالْخَفِيُّ هُوَ خَطَأٌ يطرح على الألفاظ. يطرح على الألفاظ. هو خطأ يطرح على الألفاظ. He said, it is the mistake that people make on the words or in some words. فيخل بالعرف دون المعنى. This will change just the structure of the letter or structure of the recitation, but it will never change the meaning. Now get the difference. That the first one can change the meaning, and it might not change the meaning. You understand? The first one, when you do that, now it's just like saying you want to say alhamdu, then you say alhamda. That's really changed the meaning. If you want to say an amta, then you say an amtu. That really changed the meaning. You understand what I'm trying to say? And in some occasions, it might not change the meaning. It might only change the structure of the verse. So that one tick the two boxes. It might change the meaning and it might not change the meaning. You understand? Changes the meaning sometimes and sometimes doesn't change the meaning. But here it doesn't change the meaning. It only changes the structure of the verse or changes the structure of recitation or whatsoever. You understand? Or the Arabic. Are we together? He
Yes.
said, وَيَخُلَّ بِالْعُرْفِ دُونَ الْمَعْنَى. It will change the structure of the known, of the obvious, because you know, okay, this is how you say it should be recited, but it's not recited that way. So it will change that. He said, كَتَرْقِ الْغُنَّةِ وَقَصْرِ الْمَمْدُودِ. Just like unmuting the ghunna. Like you just mute the ghunna when you're supposed to say, you to attach the ghunna. Just like what? الحمد لله الذي أنزل. You say الحمد لله الذي أنزل, or you say هم بي. You understand? Or you want to say inna, then you say inna. So this leaving the ghunna, leaving out the ghunna is khata, is a minor mistake. وقصر الممدود. When something has mud, you are doing this a lot. When something has mud, then you shorten the mud. When a word has it, then you shorten it. So shorten it is also one of the minor mistakes, minor blunders. وَمَدُّ الْمَقْصُورُ هَكَذا. And when something doesn't have mud, then you attach mud to it. When it is short, you make it long. When it is long, you make it short. وسمي خفيا لاختصاص أهل الفن هذا الفن بمعرفته. This one, it is named خفي, a minor one, because it's only people that are professional on this part that would know you have made this mistake. These are scholars, reciters, the scholars of the Quran, reciters and professionals on this part of knowledge that would know that, okay, this person is making a mistake, but not the obvious, everyone know. But the other one, everyone would know that you have made mistake. You understand what I'm trying to say? Because you are changing something that is very, very obvious. But unlike this, you need to know Tajweed to know all these things. So now let's know. He said, well, awwal, now he's gone back to the first one. Ay al-jali. Haramun. يأثم القارئ بفعله. He said, al-jali is haram, is prohibited. That first one, the major one, is haram, is prohibited. And you will be given sin for doing this. You understand? You'll be given sin. Wathani, the first one is haram, and you're advised not to participate in it. Wathani, the second one, al-khafi, the minor one, makruhun wa mu'ibu ahlin inda ahlil fan. It's not haram and it's not this thing, but it is something that is something you should be avoiding. It's avoidable, like you should avoid at all costs. Wa mu'ibun inda ahlil fan. And the scholars of the Quran, they see it as aib, as something like how should I even put it? It's something condemnable, like they should, it's something they condemn a lot, that don't do it, do not this, do not do this. You understand? So they don't like it. وَقِيلَ يُحْرَمُ كَذَلِكَ لِذِهَابِ بِرَكَةِ الْجِلَالِ. And at some point they said you'll get to a level whereby it will be haram also, because it ruins the recitation. It ruins the recitation. So you get to a point whereby this minor one will be a major one when it is too common. Are you together? When it's too common. So now let me summarize all this. We have two types of blunders. The first blunder is the major one, and that changes the meaning of verses. And sometimes it doesn't. It's just like changing a letter with another letter or changing a sign with another sign. And this blunder is haram. Yeah, it's prohibited. It's prohibited, and you'll get sin by participating in it. While the second one is the minor blunder. And minor blunder is a blunder that, okay, it doesn't change the meaning of a verse, but of the verses or the verse, but it changes the structure of the verse, the sound of the verse, the stand of the verse, and it is not haram, but it's something that you should avoid at all costs. You understand? And sometimes
Yeah.
at some point it gets to be haram also. It gets to be prohibited. These are the two things in summary. So now let's continue. Maratibul qira'ah. We have 4 stages of recitation. 4 modes we should recite with. 4 modes. So when you are reciting, you should stick to one of these 4 modes or one of these stages. You should pick one and stick to it and recite with it. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So let's start. The first one, al-awwal. The first one here is what? At-tartil. At-tartil. I know you've heard a lot, you've heard about tartil a lot of time, like okay, tartil. So yes, at tartil. You understand? So he
Yeah.
said at tartil وهو القراءة بتؤدة واطمئنان. وهو القراءة بتؤدة واطمئنان. It is the recitation of the Quran بتؤدة واطمئنان, in a very calm manner, you understand, and tranquility. To be this very, very calm, you calm down to yourself like, and وإخراج كل حرف من مخرجه مع إعطائه حقه ومستحقه. When you are very, very calm, you are sitting down, when you are calm, you have this tranquility and peace. You try to be very, very calm. Then while you are in this mood, then you try to pronounce the letters from alif to ya, from their positions, from their what? Positions, مع إعطائه حقه ومستحقه, while you give them what is their right and what also belong to them. So now I think in our previous classes, we've explained the difference between حقه ومستحقه, right? Can you remember the meaning of حقه and ومستحقه?
حقه. Let me just written it. Okay. حقه is gotten from Zatia. It can never change. مستحقه and حقه can change.
No.
Right.
You are yes, حقه is just like the right of the letters. This
Okay, no.
مستحق,
مستحقه can change.
yeah, حقه can never change, which is their
Yeah.
permanent attribute, and مستحقه is what it can change. Their temporary
Yeah.
attribute change with the changing of the situation of the letters. مع تدبر المعاني, while you ponder upon these verses. So in tartil, you try to recite calmly, peacefully, slowly. You try to pronounce these letters from their positions, their makharij, their makhraj, and at the same time, you try to ponder upon the verses while you recite the verses. You understand?
Yeah.
So you have to go slow. Let me give an example. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Give me your 2 minutes.
نون والقلم وما يسطرون. This is tartil. Example, like let's think of an example of a verse that has a lot of signs. أفلا يتدبرون القرآن ولو كان من عند غير الله لوجدوا فيه اختلافا كثيرا. This is 13. Understand? So now this is the first method. Yeah, this is the first method. Then the second one is الثاني التحقيق. The second one is التحقيق. He said وهو مثل الترتيل. It's just like ترتيل. The second one is also just like ترتيل إلا أنه أكثر منه اطمئنانا وهو المأخوذ به في مقام التعليم. Just that this تحقيق is slower than ترتيل. Like it's slower than 13. And this is what we use on a daily basis when we teach in the teaching environment. Like when you are teaching, you listen that when Ustaz is teaching people, you see that he recites so very slow, like he recites very slow. He tries as much as possible to apply all the rules of Tajweed so that you all can listen to it because he is reciting slower. And this is what people use this for Tangrim. You know Tangrim now. So you see they recite slower.
I
So
did
which,
Tengi.
yeah, you can do Tangrim.
Before, I used to do a lot of Tengi, but I don't know if I can still do it.
Okay. So, misal, let me give you an example. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون. Now, if you listen, this is slower than 13. This is slower than 13. Like, go slowly, slowly, slower than 13. So, and this is what you use when you teach, when you are teaching, when you are in a teaching environment, so that the student you are teaching would listen and get whatever it is you are trying to recite to them. So let's move to the third one, which is al-hadr. Al-hadr وهو الإسراع في القراءة مع مراعاة الأحكام. Al-hadr means reciting, reciting fast. Is while you are reciting fast, and at the same time you are applying the rules of tajweed. You are being conscious of the rules of tajweed. You don't want to recite أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. You don't do that. You try to apply the rules of tajweed. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, now example. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. Just like Mishawi that you recite, الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين. This is what we call al-hadr. You recite fast, but you try as much as possible to apply the rules of tajweed and be conscious of them. That is what we use for muraja'a. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون وإن لك لأجرا غير ممنون وإنك لعلى خلق عظيم فستبصر ويبصرون بأيكم المفتون. This is hadr with tajweed. So, and the last one, which is Arabi at-tadwir. At-tadwir is said وهو مرتبة متوسطة بين الترتيل والحدر. It is the level, it is the method that is in between tartil and hadr. Hadr is reciting fast, tartil is reciting slow. So this tadwir is in between. Now, example. Just like Yawa, that's the method you recite with. You personally, that's the method you recite with. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم نون والقلم وما يسطرون ما أنت بنعمة ربك بمجنون. You understand? This is what التدوير. It is in between the two. وأفضل هذه المراتب الترتيل لنزول القرآن به. The best amongst these four methods that we talk about is الترتيل, the first one, because لنزول القرآن به, Quran was revealed in this method. قال الله تعالى ورتلناه ترتيلا. You understand? You know the verse. So it is the best method of recitation. Are we together? So now I want us to go back. To them, and I want to explain something. These four methods of recitation, how do we manage? How do we move from one to another? Now, if you are reciting with tartil, that means you have chosen to complete each and every mud you come across. Each and every mud you come across. Each and every mud you come across. Are you with me?
Yes.
So I had to make it thrice. Each and every mud you have to complete it. Now, if you want to take example, is like now. This is ha'u is madul jaiz. So the length of it, the max is 5. So which means we are going to make it 5. So ulai is wajib, is 5. So now let's go. Inna ha'ulai yuhibbuna al-ajilata wa yadharuna wara'ahum yawman thaqila. Are you with me? Now, so now that this is it. So that means you have to make each and every mud you come across what? Complete. Like you have to complete it. The arid, this everything. Everything should be what? Hmm? So let's take this. واغفر لأبي إنه كان من الضالين. Now we have 5, 6, 6. 5 for Jaiz, 6 for Lazim, and 6 for Arid. Are we together? So we have to make everything complete. So when you are reciting with tahqiq, the same thing. You have to make each and every mud complete. Like you have to complete each and every mud. Every elongation had to be what? Completed. So you have to count every elongation 5, 6, 5, 6, 5, 6. But the difference is that in this tahqiq, you have to be slower with your recitation, not with your mud.
Everything
Not
in general.
Yeah. So not with your mud. You have to just make your recitation slower, but not with your mud. The same counting. When it is 6, it is 6. It's not like you are going to make it a slower 6, a slower 5. No. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like إن هؤلاء يحبون العاجلة ويذرون وراءهم يوما ثقيلا. So just like this, you understand? So you'll make every mud count, but you are not going to make your mudud, your elongations, count slower. It's just you are going to count it the normal way. Just that your recitation is going to be slower, but complete everything. While in hadr is like you are going to shorten some things. Some things like what? We have 3 things or 2. Let's say 2 that you shorten if you are reciting with arid. You shorten jaiz and you shorten what? Arid. Just these 2. Just these 2. So now if I'm reciting with hadr, I'm going to recite Inna haula, because this is wajib.
Okay.
La is wajib. But ha'u is jaiz. So I'm going to say Inna haula yuhibbuna al-ajilata wa yadharuna wara'ahum. You understand? So if you go to waghfir li abi, also the same thing. Waghfir li abi إنه كان من الضالين. Done. We shorten the mudud. You understand? It's just now only 2 mudud. So that is why you have to be careful. You just shorten only 2, jaiz and arid. So what you need to know is that, okay, how do I know when this is jaiz? How do I know when this is arid? So now you know what you shorten is only jaiz and arid. For same thing with tadwir, which is the last one, tadwir. The only thing you shorten here is you don't shorten it. If you are reciting with Tadweer, same thing with Jais and Arif, you just make them 4-4. So, because La is going to be longer because that one is 4. Ha is 4. So the same thing. واغفر لأبي إنه كان من الضالين. Are we together? So you make your jais 4, you make your arid 4. So which means you are just going to make them 4, 4. Are we together? So now, in general, what we said is that if I'm reciting with 30, everything, my jais is going to be 5, because let's just talk about the changeable, the things that we can change. So the only two things we can change is jais and wajem and arif. So now let's just focus on them. The rest, let's forget about them because it's not something you can change. So now let's just talk about that. So now, if you're reciting with 30, your jais should be 5 and your arif should be 6. Your jais should be 5. Jais should be 5, while your arif should be what? 6. If you are reciting with tahqiq, the same thing. Your jais should be 5, while your arif should be 6. Okay. If you are reciting with hadr, your jais should be 2, your arif should be 2. Jais 2, arif 2. While if you are reciting with tadwir, your jais should be 4 and aris should be 4. So now the question is, how do I know this is jais? How do I know this is jais? How do I know that?
Oh, you're asking me?
Yes,
Okay, it's just mad after mad, then Hamza in another word, the different word.
okay. Now you said what? Explain, expatiate. I want you to explain better.
Okay, when you have Hamza,
Now,
when you have mad and after the mad there's Hamza, but in a different word. Not like not like Hamza standing on its own like wajib. That's when you know it's jais.
okay. So now you are saying if there is Hamza and there is mad, so which one should come first?
The mad should come first.
Wow. So the mad should come first.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, fine. Now let's see. وَمَا أَرْسَلْنَاكَ إِلَّا مُبَشِّرًا وَنَذِيرًا. Okay. Now, how do we?
That's jais.
It is jais. Because we have wama in a different word and arsalnaka in a different word. Cool?
Yeah.
Are we together?
Yes.
Okay. And arid lisukun is just like as we know about. Just give me an example of arid lisukun.
It's mostly at the end of a verse.
Okay. Okay, fine. Now, I think what we need to focus on more now is knowing how to maneuver, like if I'm reciting now, I want to give you an example. I want to recite with these 4 methods of recitation, in the same page.
Yeah.
So now let's take, let's, hold on, please. Now, okay, mashallah. So let's look for a verse that has long verses. But that is very long. Okay, now let's take Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Now I'll start from Hadir,
Okay.
then I'll continue with Bismillah. I'll start with Hadir, which is the shortest, right? Then
Yeah.
Tadwir, Tartil, then Tahqiq. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداين. What did I do here? The first one was what?
I did.
The second one was what?
Tajweed?
Yeah. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل. You get it? So now
Yeah.
I did Hajar, Tadwir, Tartil. So now I have given you this now. So now I'm going to mix it up. I'll now tell you, I will not tell you what I did now. It's just for you to tell me what I did. يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا تداينتم بدين إلى أجل مسمى فاكتبوه. Now, what did I do?
Okay.
Hmm.
The first one was 13
Okay.
because you finished your jais. Then the second one was
Now,
Hadir. The third
now,
one was Tawfiq. And the last one was Tahqiq.
mashallah. So you see, that's what we try to. So this is how you put things together sometimes to find, because it just be like giving you someone a mathematical assignment. You have to find the solutions yourself. You understand? So this is it. So I think from this we can move forward to al-isti'adha wal basmala, because all these things we are doing are introduction. They are still introduction. So we are going to move to al-isti'adha wal basmala. Now, al-isti'adha, I'm going to write you, write you a test actually. You know, that's why you are having the summaries of all these classes. You are having the summaries in English. So you're having the summaries in English, you can go through them. So I will use those summaries to set you questions.
Right.
Yeah. And the question is going to be live. I'll put in the questions here and you'll be answering them here. There is a way I will do that. Also, I will learn it. I don't know, but I'll tell them to teach me. So now, al-isti'adha, hukmuha. What's the meaning of al-isti'adha?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
Say hukmuha. What is the hukum of isti'adha? They say it's here mustahabba. It is something that is advised that, okay, everybody should take it. It's not compulsory. But وَقِيلَ وَاجِبَ عِنْدَ الْبَدْءِ بِالْقِرَاءَةِ. But it is compulsory when you want to start recitation, when you want to start reciting. So it is not compulsory if you want to, if you always want to recite but if you want to start reciting, when you want to start reciting, it is compulsory. وَصِيغَتُهَا الْمُخْتَارَةِ. And the sira that they chose for isti'adha, the words that they chose for isti'adha is أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. This is as what we know. ولا أربع حالات. It's not like we have different types of isti'adha that are allowed Islamically. وأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. وأعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. وأعوذ بالله السميع العليم من حمزه ونفخه ونفثه من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من حمزه ونفخه ونفثه. Continue. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان. وأعوذ بالله العظيم من الشيطان. وأعوذ بالله العظيم من الشيطان الرجيم. وأعوذ بالله العظيم من الشيطان المطرود الرجيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان المطرود. All these are allowed. They are all allowed. So, and anyway, even in international Quranic competition, anywhere you want to recite and you choose any one of these, we are allowed. You can say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitan. You can say, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Because in Shatibiya, they say, إذا ما أردت الدهر تقرأ فاستعذ جهارا من الشيطان بالله مستلا على ما أتى في النحل يسرا وإن تزد لربك تنزيها فلست مجهلا. So they said, إذا ما أردت الدهر تقرأ فاستعذ جهارا من الشيطان. If you want to recite anytime, فاستعذ, you should seek refuge from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah? جهارا من الشيطان بالله. You should recite it out. Out, you should recite it out publicly. جهارا من الشيطان, because you are seeking refuge and protection from the shaitan, right? You are seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, protect me from shaitan. بالله مسجلا على ما أتى في النحل, as it is in Surah Al-Nahl. Can you tell me the verse that isti'adha was found in Surah Al-Nahl?
I think the third
فاستعذ
page.
بالله إذا قرأت القرآن فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. So that verse is a reference to isti'adha, that okay, you should, if you want to recite the Quran, فاستعذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. He said على ما أتى في النحل يسرا وإن تزد. So if you feel like adding something to glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you understand? Because isti'adha, they are just words to glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like a'udhu billahi minash shaitan. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan. That is just the seeking protection part. But the rest is just like glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Like, you understand? Calling Allah with names that He deserves. So, وَإِن تَجِدْ لِرَبِّكَ تَنْزِيهًا. If you added something to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, فَلَسْتَ مُجَاهَلًا. They will not call you a jahil. But you cannot do it yourself. You cannot use the words. There are some words that was written by a lot of scholars that was collected from the companions that okay, so they said you can use, but you yourself, you cannot just sit and say, okay, today this is how I want to recite my isti'adha and I made it myself. No. There are ways that they were written. All these things you had me recited. It's not like I made them up. I didn't make them, like, understand? I didn't make this thing up. I was telling you from what. So he said, حالتان يجهر بها فيهما وحالتان يسر بها فيهما. So now, أعوذ بالله ولها أربع حالات. He said isti'adha has 4 ways. If you want to recite Quran with isti'adha, you can recite in 4 ways. Now, first one, حالتان يجهر بها فيهما وحالتان يسر بها فيهما. So the first 2 ways is to recite them publicly. How you will recite them, where and how you are going to recite them publicly. And the other 2 are when you are going to recite them what? Secretly and privately, inside.
Yeah.
So inside, secretly. So he said, so we have 4. 2 publicly, 2 secretly, yeah? So he said, فَيُجْهَرُ بِهَا فِي الْمَحَافِلِ وَالتَّعْلِيمِ. You recite them publicly if you are in gatherings and teaching environments. So which means if you want to start a lecture, you see scholars, if they want to start a lecture, they will say, أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. Then they start. They say it publicly. You want to start a lecture, you want to do something. Fil mahafil, then what ta'lim? Teaching environment. Like if you come to a class, you want to start teaching a teacher, as a student, you say what? A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. If you want to recite the Quran, you want to start teaching students how to recite something, you want to give them a portion from the Quran, you recite it what? Publicly. So these 2 occasions, gatherings and teaching environments, you recite them publicly. And the 2 that you have to recite them secretly is fi salati wal infirad, when you are praying and when you are alone. If you want to pray, Allahu Akbar, Alhamdulillah, it's going to be secretly. Even when you are praying for people that you want to pray Maghrib or Isha, you recite the isti'adha secretly. You don't have to recite it out. You say, where we have even different opinions is Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, Basmalah. That some people say you can recite it out because in some riwayah, Basmalah is part of Surah Al-Fatiha. That's like Warsh. Warsh recite Basmalah, number 1 verse of Surah Al-Fatiha. So but in isti'adha, everyone agree that, okay, you have to recite isti'adha secretly. So, while infrared, and when you are alone, you want to do some things, you want to recite a book, you want to do anything, you don't have to recite isti'adha publicly because you are alone. You understand what I'm trying to say? So you don't have to say it publicly. You can say it what? Secretly. So you should say it secretly. It's not like you can. You should say it secretly. So when you are praying and when you are alone. So when you are alone, you want to do some things, it should be secretly. ولها مع البسملة عند أول السورة أربع أوجه. استعاذة and basmala, the two together. Now they're telling you that the two together, they have four audio, four ways. I feel like you are feeling sleepy a bit. I think we should.
No, no, no. Okay.
Okay,
It's just
fine.
my back.
Isti'adha and basmala, the four together, they have arba audio. They have four ways, four methods of reciting the both together and beginning of surah. Isti'adha, basmala, and beginning of surah. So this, they have four ways. So let's start. Qat'ul jami' is when you cut, you divide everything. Say each and every one of them individually. أي الاستعاذة عن البسملة والبسملة عن أول السورة. Example: أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. So these three ways, these ways, like this way, you have to divide everything. You are not going to match anything. This is what we call qat'ul jami, like cutting of everything. Cutting of everything. So the second one is qat'ul awwal wasl thani bi thalith. You cut the first one, then you match the second one with the third one. What is the second one?
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Yawwa. And the third one is what? Beginning of surah, right? So you cut the first one. Which one is the first one?
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم.
So now cut the first one and merge the second and the third. Do it.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Rahim. You say Rahim alhamdulillah. You've gotten it. It's just that you didn't do it right. Rahim alhamdulillah. So we are done with that. So you say أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين. Just as you did it. It's okay. So now let's take the third one. وصل الأول بالثاني. You merge this first and the second. مع الوقف عليه. Then you pause. وقطع الثالث. Then you cut. You recite the third one alone. You cut the third one. So now.
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
Yawwa, mashallah. So now let's move to the last one. Wasul Jami.
You join everything.
Yeah, just like how.
Okay, I should do it.
Yes.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين.
No. Mashallah. So these are the four ways. He said, Walil basmalati. He said what? Walil basmalati. Basmala. Baina kulli suratain. Now he's going to talk about basmala and suratain, which means if you finish one surah and you want to start another surah, you have basmala in between.
Yeah.
We don't have isti'adha. If you listen, if someone finishes with a surah and is reciting the next one, what he brings is what he brings is what is basmala. So now also basmala in between two surahs has three ways. The first one, qatul jami. Give me an example.
To merge everything. Okay.
Qatul jami, you cut.
Okay.
You recite ending of a verse.
Yeah, let me see. ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس.
MashaAllah. This is what's قطع الجميع. Then the second one, قطع الأول ووصل الثاني بالثالث. You cut the first one, but you match the second and the third. Mhm.
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس.
He said, وصل الجميع. وأما بين الأنفال, do the وصل الجميع first. وصل الجميع.
ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل أعوذ برب الناس.
نعم ما شاء الله. So now, وأما بين الأنفال والبراءة فلك الوقف والسكت والوصل. But in between أنفال and براءة, what you have to do is you pause, you do sect, you keep quiet, then you continue. Hmm? Yeah. So when you finish the surah, you keep quiet. والذين آووا ونصروا والذين آمنوا ولم يهاجروا ما لكم من ولاية من شيء وإن استنصروكم في الدين فعليكم النصر إلا على قوم إن الذين آمنوا وإن الذين آووا وهاجروا أولئك يرجون رحمة الله الرحيم أو بعضهم أولى ببعض في كتاب الحمد لله إن الله بكل شيء عليم براءة من الله ورسوله إلى الذين عاهدتم من المشركين. You understand?
Yeah.
So because there's no وسيأتي تعريف كل باب في الوقف والابتداء. So we are going to explain all of this in وقف والابتداء. So now what you need to know is that in isti'adha and basmala we have four ways. The first one is قطع الجميع, you cut everything. Second one, I'll give you the way you will get it easier. The first one is قطع الجميع. Let's say the second one is وصل الجميع. You match everything. So now you have cut everything, match everything. Then the second one is cut all out. The third one is cut all out. You just cut the first one. Then you match the second one and the third one. cut all out وصل الأول وصل الثاني بالثالث. So cut the first one, then match the second and the third. Then the last one is what? وصل الأول بالثاني. Match first and second, وقط الثالث. Then you cut the third one. As easy as that. You understand? So, and in Basmala, we have Qatul Jami. We have Qatul Jami. You cut everything. We have Wasul Jami. You match everything, exclude, you accept what Suratul Anfal and Tawbah. And you do Qatul Awa Wasul Thani Bithalis. You cut the first one and you match. So, which means in this Basmala, we don't have margin the two, then cut the third one. Yeah, it's not allowed, which means you cannot say ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم, then keep quiet and start another, because Bismillah is for the next surah now.
Yes.
So we cannot do that. So these are the things, inshallah. So inshallah, today this is where we are going to stop our class. Alhamdulillah, we've been able to achieve a lot in this class. And fully, I hope you will have little questions to ask. If you don't have, so we'll say, okay, we'll say salam alaikum to the class.
I don't have a question.
So let's say, Subhanak Allahumma. Do we have a class tomorrow or till Saturday?
Till Saturday.
Inshallah. Let's say, Subhanak Allahumma wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Nastaghfiruka.